What is going on, everybody? It is Handles, and this story really is terrible. I really don't know how this player was able to cope with it, but we all know right now the Rockets are facing the Warriors in the playoffs, but this story isn't about that. It's about the day Ryan Anderson came home and saw something he probably could never forget. So those who knew Ryan growing up would probably find it unlikely that he would ever become a pro athlete, given the fact that his dad was only 6 foot and his mom was 5'8". Yeah, that doesn't seem like he would grow to 6'10" like he is today, since he never had an insanely tall family member. But fast forward to high school, he is putting up 50-point games on surprisingly Colin Kaepernick and was 6'10". Then later on in 2009, he joins the NBA, makes his way as a prolific 3-point shooter, and in 2012 was on the Orlando Magic, averaging just over 16 points per game. I'm sure nearly none of his family members ever saw that coming, but during the All-Star break that year, he went to the Bahamas and met someone he couldn't risk losing. She was Gia Alaman, a reality TV star who appeared on The Bachelor and The Bachelor Pad. Ryan said to his friend that if I don't talk to this girl, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. So Ryan and Gia sat on the bench and talked for hours, and fast forward a year later, Ryan is now on the New Orleans Pelicans, averaging nearly 20 points per game, while also dating what he said was his future wife. It was seriously the peak of his career, but one night it all went downhill. So as you guys know, all couples have their arguments, right? I mean, it's pretty common, but this one day, Gia and Ryan started arguing again, over something small. Ryan says that he doesn't even remember what it was about, but the argument carried over to lunch and to the drive home. Gia and Ryan were getting more and more angry, then said things to each other they probably regret. Gia started to get dark by accusing Ryan of cheating, then Ryan would clap back saying he don't love her no more. In the end, it just made both of them angry. Ryan dropped her home at around 6 in the evening on August 12, 2013, so during the off season. Then later, he called his friend asking him that he needed a place to crash. But as Ryan and his friend were talking, Gia's mom calls him. He ignores it since he couldn't bring himself to talk to her. Then Gia's mom's husband texts him, and the text read, "There's something wrong with Gia. You need to go check on her." Ryan became scared since apparently a month earlier, Ryan had found Gia passed out with a bottle of NyQuil and wine next to her. She's had problems before and Ryan knew it. So he immediately drove back and ran to the apartment. And before we continue, Ryan is a great basketball player. During that year, he finished second in threes made. All his friends and teammates always said he had a great personality, was a goof, and was always fun to be around. He went to Comic-Con dressed as Batman. I mean, everyone just thought of him as a great person. But when he entered the apartment, he first saw Gia's knees. And in his own recollections of what he remembers is him screaming and running to her. The vacuum cord was hanging from the second floor really tight around her neck. A neighbor called 911 while Ryan was attempting to revive her. Paramedics started rushing in and Ryan read the note she left on the dining room table, which read, "Mom gets everything." Ryan called Gia's mom. She started screaming and cursing at him, saying that she knew Gia was sensitive and that he was supposed to protect her. Police rushed in and started asking Ryan questions. He was blaming himself for the entire thing. But this part really got me. Monty Williams, his current coach of the time, came in and saw Ryan slumped over with his back to the wall. Monty dropped to his knees and just started to hug Ryan and let him cry on his shoulder for the entire time. And Monty and a team security guard picked Ryan back up, and Monty let him stay at his house for the night. Monty and his wife Ingrid set up a bed for Ryan to sleep in, and Monty decided to stay in the room with him to talk until he fell asleep. That just goes to show what kind of person Monty Williams is. And hearing what he did for Ryan makes it even worse for me, knowing that now his wife Ingrid had passed away in 2016 due to a car crash. But as for Ryan, I really don't know how he was able to overcome this. The next time he was at the New Orleans facility, reporters rushed him to ask questions about Gia, and he just started crying with his teammate Jason Smith in the background trying to comfort him. But as years passed, Ryan was finally able to overcome what had happened. Just this year, Ryan married his wife Carrie and is playing for the Houston Rockets. I wish Ryan all the best for the future. Everyone he's met says he's a great person. Sad this had to happen to him, or really anyone. But remember guys, if any of you are having troubles, make sure to get some sort of help for your problems. But anyways guys, that's the video for today. And as always, I'm Handles, and I'm out.